good? What's good? It's another Top TV. I'm in the building with Lovely, aka Chosen.
Yeah. Don't say it like that.
Exotic dancer, actor, model. You wear many hats.
Multi-talented.
Multi-talented, doing your thing. But today we here to talk about clearing up some stuff and talk about a event that not too long ago happened. It hasn't been that long, maybe like a year and a half, maybe.
Yes.
That happened between. It was with your boyfriend that you was dating at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You and him were. First of all, I want to thank you for coming because she traveled a long way. But I want to kind of jump right into it with you and I know it's a sensitive subject matter and people been at you and wanting to kind of like point the finger at you about a tragic, because this is a serious topic. It's not something that's a joke. It's not something that's a game. Somebody lost their life in this situation, which is Cash Banks.
Yeah.
Somebody that was near and dear to the hip hop community in Cleveland and the urban community in Cleveland.
Yes, he was.
People really was fond of the guy, lovable person. So you were dating him.
Yes, I was.
You and him were in a relationship, not very long, but y'all were in a relationship together.
Yes, we were.
And somebody robbed him and ultimately took his life.
Yes, they did.
Now, I wanted to ask you this. Can you take us back to the moment right before you got off work and what was going through your mind?
I was just under the influence that I was getting booked for a party, and that I was just trying to collect my deposit.
Yeah.
As a dancer, we take a lot of risks, so we always try to get our money, and it's really no specific time.
Yeah.
Nighttime is our time to go, get our money.
So that was really what was just on your mind.
Yeah. Just
getting your bread, a regular day at the office.
Yeah, I just had left work, and then I'm thinking, like, I'm going to go get some more money, and then when I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to do this party.
Do it again.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, somebody was booking you for a party for the next day.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So they was, like, in a rush. They was like, I know it's last minute, but I really need you to do this party. So I was just under their impression, and I was already at work at the time. So it's just like, you know what I mean? When I was
He's like, yeah, all right.
I'm like, yeah.
This is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know these individuals that was booking you for this party?
No, I didn't.
You never met them?
No. A lot of the bookings, like, I don't be knowing, like, people until I just get there, and
that kind of happens with my business. People will call me and say, hey, I need a photographer, a videographer. I might not even know them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I might have not seen them before, none of that.
Yeah.
But they'll book me for the event. Mm-hmm. And then, I'll probably meet them on location. Or we'll do some type of business prior to that, and then I'll meet them there.
Yeah.
But this particular night, it was the night before the party, so they wanted to book you for the party the night before.
Yeah.
So they was trying to bring you a deposit, you said?
Yeah, they were just trying to bring me the deposit, because before I even...
So they claim?
Yeah, so they claim. But it wasn't really a they. I was under the impression like it was a female, because when I went over the page, I check everything out before I do parties and stuff to see if it's legitimate or if it's like some weird stuff.
Yeah.
And the page looked pretty legitimate. It had followers and stuff like that, and it was like persistent with like, the person posting videos and pictures. So it looked pretty legitimate to me.
Did they say their name, anything like that? Did they give you?
They did, but I don't remember.
You don't?
It was just like kind of friendly, like, hey girl, I want you to do a party. For my guy or whatever, his birthday,
So it was a woman. You thought it was?
Yeah, I thought it was a woman. Yeah, because the picture of the profile, it was a woman.
So what prompted you? I know you getting money, but what prompted you to take a last minute invitation? Like,
because I had worked like the after hours and stuff like that before, so it's just like, and I've taken stuff before, nothing ever happened. So I'm just like, okay. I've took many risks before, I can say, you know, and nothing ever happened to me.
And in that line of work, you got to take some time,
Yeah.
You taking risks.
Yeah, you always taking risks as a dancer, And some dancers don't. They cut it at just the club, but some dancers don't. They do parties or whatever, or private parties, and you
Yeah.
get your own separate money outside of the club.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you are working for a club, and let's say if they try to book you through that club, the club sometimes will try to get a percentage of the money. So a lot of girls will do parties like
They
outside.
private thing.
Yeah. So that's what I was on, and I was just under the impression it was like last minute. So I'm just like, let me just take this money because I like getting money. I ain't gonna lie.
Right. How did the idea of extra money influence your decision to go? How did it? It was like, yeah.
Yeah, like basically I was under the impression like the reason I was getting all this extra money and stuff like that and thinking about it because we had plans on like, moving out of the state. So I'm motivated now. Like I go
and get the money.
Go and get the
money. Because we trying to get the
time.
bag to leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was talking about going to Texas or whatever and stirring over. So I'm like, ooh, Texas. I always wanted to go to Texas.
Yeah.
They say it's big things down there. So, so I just was like, well, let me hustle hard, I like showing people I can match they fly.
Right. And because he was a fly guy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He videos, the jewelry, the money, you know what I'm saying? And so he always was like in the in crowd, so to speak.
Yeah.
When you called Cash for the Uber, what were your immediate thoughts about that night ahead?
When I had called him for the Uber, I don't know, I was a little tipsy in the back. I was like, I'm about to go outside, get this money, take a shower, then relax.
Right.
Didn't really too much think like ahead like that. And then I just thought everything would just be like, would go how I wanted it to go,
How did you feel about going to your apartment at first rather than directly to the party? Or the party was the next day, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be that following day. Because, after you get off work from, like, the strip club, it'd be, like, 2:30, 3 o'clock, by the time you get home, probably, like, around.
So it was in that day, actually.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I kept, like, advising them, like, come to the club. Come to the club. Come, spend the money down here or whatever to give me my deposit. But they were just insistent they had cash. So I'm just like, okay. And I had people who just, they don't have cash app or none of that type of other things, So I'm like, okay.
What was going through your mind while you was waiting for the studio's response, like for the people's response for the party, because they were supposed to get with you, so you was just like you were saying it wasn't nothing to think about. It was like it was a no-brainer for you to get the money.
Yeah, I ain't really put too much thought into it. I wasn't really like thinking that far ahead.
Yeah, you like it's just a regular client.
Yeah, that's how I think. Because people hit me up all the time. Like I got used to doing a lot of parties, just especially from being like a known person to dance and do parties. People would hit me up last minute, like, "Girl, I need you to do this party." So I just kind of got used to that,
And you ain't feel no uneasiness or nothing like that before the whole.
Probably not, because I was a little tipsy.
Right. So you was off.
Yeah.
Your decision was a little bit clouded, a little bit. Can you tell us more about what was going through your mind as you approached the car when the lights was blinking? Because they blinked the lights at you once you got to the apartment. You got to the apartment.
Yeah, when I got to the apartment, I had originally already was upstairs. I had took a shower and stuff, and I was just getting ready for bed for real.
Cash was there. Everybody was there.
Yeah, he was laying down in the living room with Alyssa, and I had got in the shower and I had just started washing up and got ready for bed. I put on my pajamas, and by the time I was like out the shower, I had heard my phone going off, so I went down and I looked, and it was like. We hear now the person that I had talked to that was I was under the impression that was a female. She said that she was actually going to send her dude to come give me the money. You feel me? When he had got off work, she said because she didn't have no way. That's why she wasn't even going to come to the club to drop off the money or anything like that. So yeah, as they say.
Man, so so they get there.
So I ended up leaving out, and in that, like, the Broadway apartments, like, um, the top lock. You have to physically get up and lock the door in order for the door to be closed or locked. And he was laying down and he was asleep. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people was wondering like, well, why she didn't lock the door before she left or whatever.
Because he had to lock it.
Yeah, he had to physically lock it. And in my head, I'm thinking I'm about to just boom, be in and out and come back upstairs.
Just go grab the money and come up.
Yeah, that's what I was really thinking, and it didn't
pan out like that.
Yeah, it didn't plan out like that at all.
What was your first reaction when the two guys jumped out of the car?
I kind of like just froze. I didn't know what to do because I just was like, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it was happening. For a second, I'm just thinking like, is it because my brothers, they had their own separate beefs and stuff in the streets. So I'm thinking to myself like, oh gosh, is it
because of your
my brothers or whatever? I was really thinking that at first, and it wasn't until they spoke and said, you know, what it was about that, you know, that I knew what was going on. Mm-hmm. I was just scared. I froze honestly, and I just was like, well, dang. I just got to do anything like so I can live through it, you know?
Yeah. So what was they saying that you recognized? Did it seem like somebody you knew? Did their voice resonate with you, or it was just like you really didn't know who it was?
No, I didn't know who these people was. They was like complete strangers.
Yeah.
When they just was like, get in the back of the car, get in the back of the car.
So they basically kidnapped you.
Yeah, they kidnapped me.
Yeah. When they had you get in the car, what happened after that?
They had me like put my head in between my legs, and they had me not looking up, but they was like questioning me and asking me a lot of questions. They was like, "Where this at? Do you know where he have his?"
So they was looking for cash.
Yeah.
They came to rob cash.
For sure.
And they was using you as bait.
For sure.
Hmm.
And I feel like they was able to do that because, you know, he was going live a lot with us in the previous weeks that, you know, we all had got into the relationship. I was in, you know, we was in a
I seen that too. I kind of seen that like, yeah.
So he was going live a lot and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I had a weird feeling. I don't know. You know how you can feel stuff like before it happened, but you don't know exactly what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. I remember I was just like,
what was the feeling?
Just a weird feeling, like, I don't know, when he would go live a lot, I just felt like, me personally, I feel like it's cool to go live, but everything don't need to be shown, you know? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, and the feeling is like, sometimes you feel uneasy, like, before, like, something bad happened. Like, you ever walked out the door and you felt uneasy?
You get a feeling in your sensation.
Yeah, and then right after that, something happened. Because that's your body and that's your intuition telling you, you know, to not do things or to try to figure something out before it happens. Is letting you know maybe to get away from a situation or something is going to happen.
Did you express to Cash, like, you should slow down on the lives, man? You know, people are always lurking, or did you express your concern?
Yeah, I definitely did. You know, I would be like, put the camera down. Like, I would just say it just like that. Like, everything don't have to be, you don't have to share everything on live. Everybody don't need to know everything.
Yeah.
And that's not to blame him. A person should be able to share their life without somebody, you know, wanting to take something from you or attack you or be jealous. You should be able to.
But we know that just ain't the case. We know that just ain't the case. People is out here lurking. People is out here thirsty. They want what you got. Let's be honest. So the guys get you outside. They lure you outside. They get you in the car. So what happened? Did they drive you around before? Because how did they get back to the apartment?
So basically, when they had, you know, put me in the back seat and they was questioning me and stuff like that, I don't think I wasn't giving them enough like information. So I feel like they felt uncomfortable or nervous a little bit. So they had left out of the apartment and went to go pick up another guy. So it was already a driver.
With you, they took you to go pick somebody else up.
Mm-hmm. And the whole time, the guy who was in the back seat with me on the right side, he was holding me down.
They had on masks?
Yeah, everybody did. So, I wasn't able to identify really pretty much anything.
Right.
The only thing I ever identified was somebody had like lighter brown eyes. That's all I
Mm.
know, and you'll be able to see that because mostly majority of all people have dark brown eyes.
Yeah. So they picked you up. They picked you up. Then they went to go pick somebody else up and bring you back to the complex.
Yes.
When they bring you back to the complex, what were they saying to you?
They was basically, asking me questions about, where he had his stash at, where he hid his money at.
Did they know where the apartment was at already?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay. Um.
They just was like asking me a lot of questions and I wasn't really answering. So, um, they was asking about the building. They was like, we can just go back in. I'm like, well, the door locked, so you can't just get inside.
Right.
And I would, I tried to talk to him too, and I was like, y'all should just, let me go and just let it be or whatever.
Yeah.
But they was very adamant on like pursuing whatever they was doing. It was nothing that I could really say. I even told him like, I've been locked up before. I've been incarcerated. This ain't really what you want to do. Like, this ain't right.
You was trying to talk him down.
Yeah, I really was. And, the guy in the front, he had told me to be quiet.
Yeah. So once.
And then when they put me in the car, they took my cell phone and they had turned the location and stuff off as well.
So how did they end up finding out exactly what apartment he was in?
Because when we had got let in, they basically told me I walk to the apartment because they basically told me if you walk to any apartment that isn't his, we gonna shoot you. So I'm just like, I couldn't really figure out exactly in that moment what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You were scared.
Yeah, because they already had told me like every decision, if it went against what they wanted me to do, they was gonna kill me. So it's just like,
what do I do?
What do I do in a situation? And they said if I try to get somebody else's attention, they gonna shoot me, and they always behind me. So I'm just looking like, oh my god.
So they walking in with mask on. Is it cold?
Outside.
Yeah. It's cold, so it don't look like it's out of the norm for them to have on masks. Because did anybody see them?
It's a little chilly, but I don't think it was as cold. December 29th. Yeah, it was cold. It was.
Did anybody see you? Did you see anybody in the building?
There was one person in the building. It was like a young boy. He looked like he had dreadlocks, but he looked like he wasn't even paying attention.
Like he ain't even care what was going on.
No, he didn't care.
So basically the lobby and stuff was.
Everything was dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just that time of the night. Everything was dead.
What time was it?
I know they said the situation on the. I'm not good with exact time, and I ain't gonna lie, but it had to be like around 3-something, between 3 and 4.
In the morning.
Yeah.
So you walk in,
I get off like around 2:33.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's in the morning time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still dark.
Mm-hmm.
So they walk you into the apartment. They tell you, if you make the wrong move, if you don't tell us exactly where the location at, I'm gonna kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So you take him to the apartment door. The apartment door was still open because you couldn't lock it, or then he didn't get up.
No, it was closed, but it was still open. You can just physically open the door.
Oh, so he didn't ever get up and lock it.
No.
So what happens next?
So when they pushed me through the door, I had my hands up like this, and that's when they start yelling, "Everybody, get up, put your hands up, get up, put your hands up."
You, Cash, and the other young lady.
Yes, Alyssa. And so I had my hands up, and I looked at him or whatever, and I had shook my head. I'm like, I ain't got nothing to do with this. And I looked at him, and he was just looking confused, and everybody, they just had woke up. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So then they had.
So they got woke up out of their sleep to this.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they come in, everybody got they give ambush basically.
Yeah.
What was the next thing to happen? Once they got through the door, they did the robbery. Did they automatically shoot Cash? What?
No, they had separated me and Alyssa from him, and they had put us in the kitchen and made us like get down on our knees, like it was like an earthquake.
Yeah.
You get down and look down. They told us to stay face towards the wall until they left.
So what was going on? What did you hear? Did you hear anything? What was they saying? Like,
I heard him, asking like where the stuff at, where the stuff at, where the money at, where the where
trying to rob him.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about, bruh. I don't know what you're talking about. And after that, I heard don't move, don't move, and then I heard the gun going off.
And then they shot him.
Yeah. Then I heard like a lot of footsteps running around. I kind of was scared to look back because I ain't.
Man, you want to comply with what they were saying.
Yeah, they was like being very frantic and talking amongst each other. And then I just heard silence, and I still like, we still was down for a minute, and then we got up.
Did he die immediately, or was he still with you guys? Did they where did he get shot at?
He got shot in his head.
So they shot him in the head, so he died immediately, basically.
Because I looked in the living room at one point, and I saw like a lot of blood coming out his head.
Yeah. What was your first reaction to do after that?
I didn't really know what to do. I just was like in shock. Alyssa, she had ran out and she was calling the police or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was in shock. I just didn't know really what to do. I know I had grabbed like a couple of my things or whatever and I was out there with her. She was calling the police, and everybody was. It was just too much going on because people was running in and out of the apartment. It just had me frantic.
Did the neighbors get up or anything like that?
Yeah, the neighbors, like all the neighbors was just.
They heard it. People heard it.
People
heard After it happened, people heard it. They got up.
Yeah, people heard it. So it was just a lot going on. I don't know. I just saw everybody running back and forth. And at the time, I'm on papers. I'm thinking about that. I'm like, I can't be around this stuff. Like, I'm not even supposed to be around none of this. Like,
but it was like.
It was just too much going on. I really felt like, I don't know. I was in shock. I really felt like numb. Like, I didn't know what to do.
Police get there. They ask you for statements. They didn't. Were you supposed to be a person of interest? You and Alyssa supposed to be persons of interest at this moment, or was everybody? That's what. At this time, police will make anybody a person of interest.
Yeah, for sure. At this time, they had to figure out what was going on, and so they had to check out everybody's story and see what was going on.
And what did you end up talking to them? What did you end up telling the officers?
I basically told them everything that I was lured online to believe that I was getting a booking. It was for business purposes, and that it was false. And I told them that they kidnapped me and went and picked some other person up. I told them everything, like from the beginning to the end. From the beginning to the end. And they was cross-examining, going back and forth with me, and then they was going back and forth from talking to me to Alyssa, and it was a lot. It was stressful.
We're gonna be right back. Make sure y'all stay tuned to this TopTv. Don't go nowhere. Yo, we back with another Top TV. I'm here with Chosen. We talking about the events that led up to Cash Banks' um, death. You know, which was felt throughout the whole city. You know, rest in peace to that young man. You know, and my condolences to his family. Um, right now, we trying to getting to the full bottom of everything because people still want to point the finger at you.
Yeah.
Because after Cash passed, people were saying that you were the reason why he got murdered.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that, and I feel like they was trying to say that because of somebody on the internet, you know, basically influencing people.
Yeah, and of course, everybody got a pass. You got a pass.
Yeah.
Your pass not as squeaky clean, but you had changed your life, and you and Cash was dating.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like this was no setup.
No, it wasn't no
You know
setup
what I'm
at all.
saying?
Like I genuinely cared about him. We had developed like a good friendship.
Yeah.
He made me laugh. I made him laugh. It was like instant chemistry, honestly speaking.
Yeah. Did you meet any of his family members prior to him passing?
Yeah, he had took me over his mom's house, and I met a few of his siblings and his mom
And how was how was the interaction then?
I'm always quiet when I'm first meeting people, you know, just taking in everything, embracing it. But I definitely spoke.
Mm-hmm.
They were very nice people. They gave me a Christmas present around Christmas as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so after Cash passed, people were pointing the finger at you saying that, oh well, Lovely, you had something to do with it. I wouldn't trust her. La la la. Why do you think people were saying this stuff about you?
I feel like, you know, I've had past relationships with, you know, people, and we have fallen outs and stuff like that. And I also have a crazy obsessed ex, and it's like if I don't mess with her, she do anything to
pull you down.
Yeah, she crazy.
Yeah. Well, it hit the blogs
for sure,
and once it hit the blogs, people really started taking sides.
Yeah, they definitely took sides like immediately, quick. Like I had people take sides who'd have known me for a long time. Like you would think like you've been around me, you done let me in your house.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of got the feel of me and my energy and how I am. So it's just like I don't know. I couldn't believe people was just siding like that so quick.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of people who definitely was like, "No, she ain't like that. Y'all don't know her." But I feel like majority of people they take sides because, you know, when somebody's, you know, got all these followers, then they done went behind my back, and then when people have social media influence, and he already known for, you know, talking about the town gossip and stuff like that. The guy.
And you talking about JP Digital?
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
He already messy. He already known for doing stuff. Some people that like him, I feel like they have his back. You know what I mean?
Do you know him personally?
I don't know him. I never met him.
Okay.
I guess, you know, him and Cash knew each other. I don't know how.
Oh, he was cool with Cash.
I don't know.
So was he upset about that, you think? And that's why he did?
I don't even think they was cool for real. I think he just did a couple interviews and he thought he was cool. You know what I mean? Like, you can never really say you know somebody, you know?
Yeah. You can never really say you know somebody unless you know somebody.
Yeah, like, just because you do a couple interviews or this, that, and the third, like, you still can't say, oh, I know this person. Like, no, you don't. You got to meet them.
Right. And so how long did that go on where you was just getting bashed online and stuff like that? And how did you handle this pressure? Because I know it had to be pressure. It was so much pressure that it made you move.
Yeah, I just left or whatever, and I just, you know, ventured out and started doing something different. And it was very stressful, and it really hurt my feelings a lot, though, honestly, because I'm like, dang, did nobody even give me a chance to even say anything, you know?
They just pointed the finger at you and said,
just automatically
you set the man up.
Yeah, and I didn't like that at all. Like, I kind of, you know, I went back and forth with people a lot because I was angry.
Yeah.
Still today, sometimes I go back and forth with people.
What did his family say? How did his family take it? Did they feel like you had something to do with it?
I feel like his mom's side definitely feel like I got something to do with it, and they just feel like they say the story just don't make no sense. A lot of stuff don't make no sense in this world. You know what I mean? But it still happens.
Yeah.
You know, just because something is unbelievable doesn't mean it can't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they like, you're not just that dumb to do this, that, and the third. I'm not dumb at all, but everybody made a couple risky decisions that could have led to this way or that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, since the incident occurred, no, his mom's not really don't mess with me. A couple people reached out.
Did you speak to his mom?
No.
No, his mom. Do you feel like people?
I have reached out to people over the internet. Do they respond back to me? No.
Do you feel like they feel that you should have not took him to the apartment?
Yeah, I definitely feel like that. They feel like that. I just at the time I really wasn't thinking really much of it. I'm like, this apartment building, they never, if anything was to happen, I just really wasn't thinking it thoroughly through.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you make impulsive decisions and you just do it, like, let me just do that.
Yeah. You. So you think that they upset because you took them? They took you back to the apartment, and you was when they told you to go back to the apartment, were you afraid at that time? And that's why you brought her back to the apartment, because you could have been like, well, I ain't taking y'all to the apartment. But then that's like,
no, I was afraid. You know what I mean? Because at one point in time, the guy was rubbed up on me, and I did feel something hard underneath his hoodie. So I'm just like, oh man, I knew they had a gun on them. So I'm just like,
did one person have a gun, or how many people had guns?
I don't know, because nobody else was really pressed up on me but the dude on the right, because you know, he was the one who was holding my head down in between my legs.
Mm-hmm.
So I could really feel him up on me because he was up on me.
People upset because once they got there, what was people saying? Like, you didn't have to take them to the apartment?
Yeah, people were saying that, and you know, I just feel like they already told me if I went to the wrong apartment and I played games, you know, they was gonna shoot me in the back of the head. So I'm just thinking, I'm trying to think for myself, like,
what should I do?
What should I do? You know what I mean? And at that moment, I'm just like, I don't feel like I should not do it, because if
my life is in danger.
My life is in danger too. So it's just like,
what should I do?
What should I do? Like, when you in a situation, it's like, really, what should you do? And I feel like people feel like maybe I should have just died or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's just like, I feel like anybody would try to save themselves in the situation, or try to think themselves out of a situation.
Do you feel responsible in some ways for Cash's death?
I definitely don't feel responsible, because how am I supposed to know, you know, what's ahead of me or what people got planned? Because I don't go out looking to do bad stuff to people, so you know, I don't expect that to come on me.
Mm-hmm. So it's just like,
I used to take the blame, I could say, because I feel like, you know, I made an impulsive decision. Did I used to feel like that at point when it first happened? Yes, I did. Do I feel like that now? No, because everybody take risks, and at some point, you don't know what risk you taking could lead you to which way. You know what I mean?
Do you think that these people already was plotting on Cash prior to this?
Yeah, I definitely do, because when we were in the car, they was like, we've been watching him. He been wanting to get got, because he always being flashy. He always flexing on the net. And
they already knew him. Yeah, they already been watching him.
Yeah, they sounded like they definitely was.
And they seen you and him together on the internet. They seen that you danced, and they was able to be like, "Oh, we gonna act like we booking her." Mm-hmm. And once we act like we book her, we gonna set them up.
Yeah, it was like the perfect way to try to get in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was the perfect like little get up. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, you know, sometimes when you do overshare things, you do leave it open. You leave yourself open for people to learn the gaps. You know what I mean? To get in. Yeah. And I honestly, I ain't even gonna lie. I thought that he was just gonna like give up the stuff and just be like, okay, forget it. I'm still that guy. You know what I mean? I know I can get it back, because he just was so well known, and I just didn't expect everything to happen the way it did.
Yeah, you didn't expect for them to shoot him or nothing like that.
No, not at
You
all.
thought that it was just a robbery.
Yeah, because when I was in the car, I was like, just don't kill nobody. And I was saying that and I was expressing that. I'm like, even if y'all take everything, I'm like, just don't kill nobody. I'm like, we'll be better off with everybody alive. But it's just like,
Do you think it was their intention to kill when they was going in there, or did he do? Do you feel like did he wrestle with them at any point? Did you hear any tussling at any point when they separated y'all?
when they separated us, I heard him say like, "Don't move, don't move." I feel like maybe he was reaching for his stuff,
Yeah.
and I feel like, or him just reaching in general or moving in general. They probably feel like they looked younger, their bodies looked slimmer and stuff like that. So they
Mm-hmm.
looked like of a younger crowd to me, and just tall though,
Yeah.
So I feel like they probably was nervous too, like probably scared they own selves because young, you out here committing a crime,
Mm-hmm.
doing something you ain't supposed to be. You robbing somebody in the middle of the night. It's
Mm-hmm.
more than one person. You don't know what's in this house. You don't know where stuff at.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
So they took your phone. You couldn't call. You couldn't text or nothing like
I
that.
couldn't do anything. Like soon as I got in the car, the guys snatched my phone and they turned my location off, and it was nothing that I could do from there.
Mm-hmm. Um, and it got messy because your exes got online and was contacting JP Digital and telling them that you set up cash,
Yeah,
but they don't know nothing about the story.
they don't know nothing.
They don't even, they wasn't there at all. You haven't been in contact with them or nothing.
No. One of my exes, she knew that I had dated him. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I can say that. So she probably was jealous.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why she did that. She dropped me off over there one time as well.
How do you so looking back? How do you feel about the decision you made that night?
I feel like I was, probably not making the smartest decision because I was probably thinking too fast. I probably could have took the time to think like maybe it's just should I just should I be out here getting money right now? Like I gotta walk pajamas anyways. I should have slowed down my thinking, but
Yeah.
I move a little fast. I'm a little ADHD. I ain't gonna lie. So I've
Yeah.
always tended to just be moving.
And in that lifestyle, you kind of moving fast.
Yeah, I'm already moving fast, so I'm just taking risks. I've always been like a risk taker, so
Mm-hmm.
I just wish I would have like known. I do. I wish I would have known that this was ahead of me, so I could have prevented it.
Yeah. What did you learn about trust and judgment in a situation like this?
Um, I definitely probably should not just go off trusting people over the internet right away. For sure, I definitely learned that, and I definitely really don't do parties anymore or take bookings off the internet because I feel like with a person like me, and because I am a risk taker. I
Yeah.
feel like I would be better off with like somebody who could manage me or can make sure like something or somebody is a legitimate thing and it's not a setup or some dumb stuff, or it could be anything. Somebody trying to kidnap me and take me to Alaska. Anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone facing a similar situation of peer pressure and being spontaneous?
I would tell them to think about the decisions they make before they make them and slow down before you just outrightly just make a decision trying to chase something.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes the chase don't be worth it in the end. The chase will make you stop and drop right there.
Yeah. You definitely got to be on top of your game, especially in the nightlife lifestyle.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Because people out here preying on you, preying on your lifestyle, preying on the people that you around. You just never know. And then like being on social media, we think it's a game sometimes because everybody on social media, we go on there all the time. So we don't really never think that it can happen to it can't happen to me until it happened to you.
Yeah, and it can happen to you.
And you just never know who's watching you. You just don't know who's on the other side
Who's
of the
lurking?
lens.
because people lurking, they're always lurking. They're always looking to for a come up.
for sure. And it's just crazy how the things that people would do over a couple of dollars. Like
Do you
it's
feel
sad.
like do you feel like people stop working with you, um, or looked at you different after this situation?
I most definitely feel like people start working with me and
And did you
they
lose
look at
money
me.
behind it?
Yeah, I definitely lost money behind it because when the situation had happened, I was kind of afraid for my life. I had people call my phone saying they was gonna kill me. Looking at
Friends of cash?
Yeah, people who said they knew I don't all types of people. Yeah, was saying all types talking about they was gonna kill me and people was saying I stayed here or and telling who my family was. This her brother. They was lying to my family, said my brothers had something to do with it. It was just so much
Mm.
chaos going on.
So your family received backlash with this.
Yeah, it was
It
that
wasn't just
bad.
it wasn't just you that was dealing with the issues. Your family had to endure and be on. Was everybody on high alert at that time?
Everybody was on high alert for sure.
And was your family mad at you? Did they feel like, oh, you already been through a situation before, and now we got to deal with this? Because in your first situation, did your family have to deal with issues like this?
No, it wasn't really like that. I don't think they had to deal with issues, because my first issue that happened, that was more so of like I was a kid and the dude was kind of like a molester chester,
Mm.
looking at kids and stuff. So no,
So so that particular situation was you were more so of a victim.
yeah, I would say my co-defendant was really a victim, but we both, were underage children. So yeah, I was a victim as well because I had to be around it.
What was your family saying and thinking at that time when it all happened? When you first called who did you call first?
I called my mom.
What did your mom say? Just to come home?
She came and got me.
Uh, Cause there's so many different variations that we could say when it ain't us. You know what I'm saying? We could always say, "Oh, I would have did this," or "Oh, I would have did that," but you never know what you would do
Everybody always say what they would do, but you don't know what you're
until
gonna do.
yeah,
And me, like I didn't think I was gonna freeze up like that. I thought I would run, some try, but I just was like, I don't know. I
I
just had
mean,
a,
when you got a gun to your head,
and I just had a feeling like I don't know. You know how in the pit of your stomach you can feel like people serious.
yeah,
Like I had that feeling in the
you
pit of
like
my
these dudes
stomach.
serious, they'll shoot me.
Yeah, and I just was like, I better not make the wrong move. I'm like, I want to live too.
With Cash passing, do you think that his decisions kind of made this night happen? Because they say they was looking for him, they wasn't looking for you.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put the blame on anybody. You know what I mean? I feel like a person should be able to be happy
Yeah,
and broadcast their success without somebody lurking trying to take
trying
them
to
for
take
it.
their life.
I really don't feel like it's nobody's fault but the people who did the stuff because you the one who's sick in the head. Why you looking at somebody else, trying to get what they got because you ain't got it?
Yeah. Did they find out? Did they find anybody?
They found one guy. His name was like Devin or Devon Jones.
So they did find somebody that was involved.
Mm-hmm.
And what did that person say? Did they get a statement from him or anything like that? Did the
Um,
case has the case came about?
Basically, they keep setting the court dates. That's the last I heard. I don't know what that man talking about. I don't even know him. They were lying and saying JP Digital. As soon as they came out with the dude, they found the dude. They was lying saying that was my brother. That ain't my brother.
Mm. Never met him.
Never met him a day in my life. And then they even the police even went down to the club that I was at, and double checked and took the camera footage
To see if
to
that guy
see
was
if
there.
the guys were there, if I met up with people and pre-planned anything. and obviously they gave him the cameras back and stuff, and obviously I didn't have anything to do with it because they would never,
They ain't see nothing.
Yeah, they didn't see anything. I didn't know these men.
Right. This guy, how old was this guy? Do he look? You have you seen him online or anything?
I seen him online. I don't know how old he is. I can't really. I don't remember how old. He's probably younger than me.
And so he's not really, and he ain't say that you had nothing to do with it.
No, he ain't. He don't know me. I don't know him.
Cause
I don't know what he's saying. Honestly speaking.
Yeah, you don't know him. He don't know you. So it's like he can't give you no. They can't get no name.
Yeah, and I feel like even if he was to say my name, he would have to say something prominent, like because they was. I feel like before they found him, they was out for a while they was on the internet bashing my name. You know what I mean? So I did worry about that too. Like, oh gosh, they already blaming me. What if the people who did it
See you.
see me, or what if they start saying like, yeah, it was her, or you know what I mean? I was thinking crazy, like, oh my gosh. I not only feel like I had to hide from the people, I feel like I had to hide from the other people too.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to feel like I had to hide from everybody.
Because it's
it
like
was getting deep. They was like, she used to live on Superior. She live here. I'm like this is crazy. Like I feel like I had.
So you had people all around you basically pointing the finger at you, and then you also thinking like the guys that did it could come looking for you.
Yeah, because they don't want me to, remember anything. Like, what if they feel like they
testify?
Yeah, testify on them. Anything. Like people do that too.
I wonder how they figured out who. How did they figure out? Do you know how they figured out who the guy was that they caught?
No, I don't know. Nobody called me. It's really nothing that they, talk. They don't talk to people.
Because that was.
But my suggestion would be, just because I think about things, I would feel like the car was a lead.
Mm-hmm,
if you think about the
tags and all that,
and the tags or whatever, so I feel like maybe
because did that place have surveillance?
Yeah, Broadway have surveillance. They said up and down the street.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But if you got surveillance up and down the street, they're gonna see your tags. They're gonna see the car. You know what I'm saying? Then one thing lead to another. If you done took your girlfriend's car and hopped in it, she gonna say you had it.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly. I don't know. They found him out and they went and arrested him.
Are they asking you to come to court?
Not that I know of.
They not asking you to come to no court dates or nothing like that.
No, I haven't received anything in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just more so I feel like I didn't really. It was people were masked up. Like, what was I able to see?
Right.
I can tell you, what happened to me over the internet. Like, I guess they had ended up being able to tap into my Instagram because I kept calling
the police.
Yeah, because when they had took me in to not took me into custody, but took me in to do the questioning and stuff like that. I had told them about they hit me over Instagram, so they was on my tail about getting into my Instagram, and you know what I mean. But my phone had been stolen, so
them dudes took your phone.
Yeah, I was having a hard time. I couldn't get into my Instagram. I had to go buy another phone. I couldn't log in for forever. Then I had to go through Apple verification. Everybody know how long that takes. Sometimes a couple days, so they can verify you. I was just going through it. By the time I verified everything and was able to get even to my Instagram, they already had got into my Instagram and saw the messages. They was able to retrieve all the messages, even the messages that they tried to erase. They told me. And see every message that they had wrote me.
The people that did the robbery.
Mm-hmm.
So they seen everything.
Mm-hmm. So they was able to confirm, my story that, I wasn't lying.
Wow. Hey, listen, don't get caught up in nothing. You hear it first that they can see everything. Once they get into your phone, they can see everything. Mm-hmm. And then they was able to confirm that you didn't have nothing to do with it, and these dudes were actually trying to set him up on their own.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. What do you got to say to people out here? What do you want the world to know? What do you want individuals to know about you and this situation? And moving forward.
This situation, really woke me up to, not, take as many risks as I was taking and not be so quick to make decisions. Um, Especially with meeting up with random people off the internet. You never know who you're coming across. Um, I just want the world to know, you can't always believe what you hear on the internet about people. And I also want to say, that I'm truly sorry that this happened to Cash and that a life was taken. And I apologize to his family, that this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to be more on point when we dealing, and if you out there and you anything you doing, you just want to be on point in life. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be somebody that dance. You ain't got to be somebody that be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? You can be a person who work a job. You know what I'm
Anything can
saying?
happen at any
Anything can
point.
happen at any point. So you want to be on point regardless. You know what I'm saying? And you want to keep down yo everything that you're doing. You don't want people. You don't want to put too many people in your business because people is out there lurking. They want what you got.
And
You know what I'm
then
saying?
how everybody is so free with the internet nowadays. We are like we post like people. I just be on the internet. Just everybody posts everywhere that they going, who they with, who they
Mm-hmm.
be around.
Yeah.
Like you really don't know. And then it's really you got to think like when we watch these stories on Law and Order, it's really crazy people out here watching you. It's
Yeah.
really killers out here. It's really sexual predators out here. It's really people out here watching to prey on you, and it's people out here watching you to get what you got.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely have to be mindful, and this definitely like this situation definitely woke me up because I lost somebody that I genuinely cared about.
Yeah.
Behind it.
Well, I appreciate you coming out. Telling your story, getting trying to clearing the air on your name.
Yeah.
Hopefully the blogs don't keep posting you or pull down whatever they didn't put up.
Yeah,
You
we
know
already know that JP. Well, let me tell you something about this. JP Digital said that I need to go on Steve Willikos in order to.
what do you
But
mean you need to go on Steve
I
Williker? What
really
to
think,
sue him?
yeah, to sue him. But it's just like I feel like he really just a clout chaser. Like he think it's fun doing stuff like this, but you don't know that you putting people's life in danger, especially when you falsely accusing somebody and you don't even know that the things that you're saying, if it's true or if it's false. You
Yeah.
just you can't go off of he say she say stuff when it comes to you know
And he got a pretty big following, so it's just
yeah
like, yeah, you got to be more mindful of what you putting up about people, especially if you don't know the real deal. You know what I'm saying? I know that you might be friends with somebody or something like that, but until you get the actual facts of the story and you know that it's concrete, then you can elaborate and put the information out there. But just to put some information out there to go off of what you think is kind of tough. You know
yeah
what I'm saying? It ain't
it's kind of
it's not
bizarre.
really it's not really good for either party because people feel a way about what you did, and the person who's involved, the other people might feel a way about what they did. So everybody's feeling a way, and these situations can spiral out of control.
Yeah, I'm just I'm blessed and that's all I really can say. I'm blessed because I could have been somewhere in Cleveland. I could have lost my life because somebody could be feeling how they feel. You know how many people, I'm not even gonna lie, I still come down and I still chill with my friends and my family because I know I ain't had nothing to do with nothing, and I feel like God gonna protect me regardless of
Yeah.
where I'm at and what I'm doing. Um, People may judge me because I am a dancer. All she talking about, God, you don't know what nobody been through where they gotta get their cheese and do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
You know, like it's been plenty of times people I done been at the beach and people done walk down on me and approach me with the situation.
About this situation
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I just
and what they say. Oh yeah, you gonna get yours? La 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 la.
no, I have people come to me and they talk to me like a real human being. Like I'm not gonna be like that. I just want to know from your side, and and then
Yeah.
he gave me the chance. A couple of his family reached out to me too, um, and they got my side. They admitted to me at first they was against me or whatever because they looked at they
Because
looked
let's be honest, dancers get that. Um, they get that
that stereotype.
yeah, they
Like,
get that stereotype like they
because
grimy, you know,
yeah,
they always up to no good.
yeah, and that's not even the case. Like, some people just, I don't even know why people are stereotyping dancers, anyways. Like, I don't know what some dancers do, but you can't claim everybody as a whole because some people do stuff, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and some people don't. Like, some people just like to dance. They really enjoy like entertaining people,
Hmm.
and I don't feel like there's really nothing wrong with it. Like, a lot of people want to look at stuff as derogatory or something like that, but it's just a form. Like, African women been dancing like that for the
Yeah, they
longest. So
have.
what's so
They
derogatory
been
about
shaking
it?
that boo boo boo
Boo boo boo boo boo.
for ancient years
For
now.
real. So, you know, everybody ain't looking to take advantage of the next person. You know what I mean? Like, I just found it, because I was incarcerated. For me, getting, when I first got out, especially with the charges I had, it was hard for me finding jobs and stuff. Like, I even applied. They were like, everybody be like, apply for Amazon. I did.
Yeah.
They even turned me down. You know what I mean? Because I was fresh out and stuff like that. So I got tired of,
Getting turned away.
yeah, or like just going to jobs that wasn't worth it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like
I feel like I'm grown.
like dead end jobs.
So I'm like, you know what? I always knew how to dance. I always been creative. I did hip hop dances. I did gymnastics. I did cheerleading.
It just
growing
wasn't
up.
about exotic dancing.
Yeah.
It was more so about you just love dancing, period.
Yeah, I love dancing, period. And then I really like the athletic pole dancing too. That's what really got me into it. I'm like, this look easy. I
Yeah.
really like the dancing form. Like, some people take dancing and they go other ways with it and really, with the man and stuff. But that's neither here nor there. I don't judge them neither. But for me, I really like to dance. I like being able to be like, I did that.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
I did my thing going and I did this one trick. Because I've always been athletic.
Yeah.
So, I feel like people shouldn't be so quick to, place judgment on everything.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you was able to make it out alive. Like I say, rest in peace to Cash Banks.
Yes.
And you and the listener was able to make it out alive. Because they could have took all your lives that night.
Yeah.
And you still able to be out here moving around, and you didn't. And the law is the law. They seen through the nonsense and didn't feel like you had nothing to do with this.
I'm not even gonna lie. I was calling him. I was like, they on the internet. They saying I ain't did nothing though. And he was like, we're checking out everything.
Oh, you called the detective?
Yeah, as soon as I saw that they was posting, and he was.
Because who was the first person to post?
JP Digital was posting it. Like,
okay.
He was the first one, and it's just like he was listening to all my exes, and you can't try to based off of what my exes who don't like me no more
that ain't even been in this mix,
that haven't even been in the mix, don't know what I got going on in my life. It's been years since I've been with these people. You cannot base what they saying. You got exes who hate you for years and will wait till you going through something to try to put you down and really stump you down even more. And it definitely worked, because they caused me to even not be able to go to the funeral.
Oh, the family was just like, we don't want you there.
Yeah, like, it was just
like, don't even come.
Yeah, his aunt still cusses me out to this day. I ain't even did nothing to the lady. She hates me. She said, I know it. She be threatening me to, she go blow my head off. I be like, dang, I ain't even did nothing. I ain't gonna lie, I be arguing with her because I don't like disrespect, because I'm hurting just like the next person is hurting.
Yeah.
And just because you may not see my pain, because I don't like to let people see my pain. That's why they probably like, well, why she probably don't cry or this, that. I just learned, like, at a young age, you don't let people see your
And your
pain.
relationship was fresh. Not to say that you don't care about them, but how long was y'all together prior to that?
We was together for 2 weeks.
2 weeks prior to that? But y'all was friends long before that?
We were dating for about like a month, and then we had got together, you know what I mean? But we were friends prior to that, because I had met him on the Rena Marie show. With Stripper Society. And
yeah.
He had came and he had blessed us, and he had showed love. And that's where we started talking and vibing. And we never would like kick it, or I wouldn't go over his house. We just would talk on the phone and laugh.
Yeah.
And we did that for a long time until, you know, it transitioned, and I used to go over there, and that's when we were just kind of like dating,
Yeah.
having fun, getting to know each other. I would go over there.
Mm-hmm.
He would be rapping. We'd be talking about different things, watching movies, just whatever. We would really get to
Just
hang
enjoying
out.
each other's time.
Yeah, and that's when, you know, after the hanging out so much, he was like, I like you. I was like, I like you too.
Yeah. Hey, like I say, Chosen, I appreciate you coming on. You know, just giving us your story and just letting us know what happened with Cash.
Yeah.
And make sure y'all stay tuned to inspirational stories like this. Until next time, y'all. Peace.